New York City is literally the most expensive city in the country, if not the world. Rent is sky high. Going out, sky high. Ubers, sky high. Tolls, subways, groceries, everything is through the roof. And there's been a lot of talk about how hard it is to live in New York. This report actually says that you need to be making $138K per year as a single adult living in New York City. Okay, that's a lot of money. Well, that's way above average. I think the average is about 65K a year in the country. And then you have this guy.
The looming stressor of making sure that I have a sustainable living is definitely real.
I'll be back.
But I would much rather take that stressor over the stress of sitting down and doing something that I don't like every single day and it becomes monotonous.
I'll do the end of a monologue.
Now, each and every day is very different from one another. Every day feels like an adventure, which is extremely fun to me. Hi, I'm Max Gallo. I'm 28 years old, living in Brooklyn, New York.
And in 2023, I made $17,000 working as an actor.
So he's saying that he's living off of 17K per year in New York City. So let's take a look at what he's doing and maybe we can learn something from him.
And welcome to Millennial No Money.
Most of my income came from acting. It didn't last too long. We went on a strike and I had to use some of the unemployment benefits. And then some of it also came from working at an exotic car dealership.
First of all, before we go any further, there's no way that he's living off of 17K per year in New York City. He probably has parents living off of some investments. Like there's no way.
And those are my 3 sources of income. I did not like that job. It made me feel like the bad guy at times, where I had to do what the company wanted and not necessarily what I would have liked to do.
I'm not actually reading this book. I'm just looking at it. It's a good book though. Power of Habit.
I was saving a good amount and it was very scalable. I probably could have put a deposit on a home, but I wanted to take my shot. I wanted to try to follow my dreams because I knew that if I tried later in life, I don't know if I would have as much momentum as I do now, and I could always go back to a more traditional path if I needed to.
Okay, so he's an actor. So story time. When I was in college, I took acting classes for fun. I was always the jokester in my friend group, so I thought it was a nice hobby. I was maybe 21 or 22, so I took some acting classes. I had a lot of fun, but there was people in my class who were, quote unquote real adults, in their 30s and 40s. They took the acting classes. They went in hard for acting, wanted to make it a full-time job. And a couple of years later, when I graduated college, I would see some of these people standing outside of Starbucks asking for money. Some people I even saw at the food bank. Like, I recognized these people from my classes. Sad sometimes, but salute to this guy for following his dreams. It is not easy.
That was actually really graceful. I really tried to tell myself after the insurance job that I really wanted to prioritize doing things that are fun and enjoyable and that I would do for free and get paid for them. Welcome to P1 Exotics. This is my survival job, like a lot of actors have. This is our storage facility where we're storing some of the cars that we have here, and this is a Ferrari 355. This is about 400 or 450,000. You can see the aerodynamics. The wind and the air would go through the door.
All right, so tell me if you agree with me, but this guy seems to have a sense of humor. Honestly, like, why doesn't he create a car review channel on YouTube and make some money from it? I mean, he's working at the dealership. He can probably borrow a car, shout them out. They get free advertising. He can make some funny, lighthearted, car review content, drive cars, day in the life of a Lamborghini owner. I swear I could see it. I mean, he would kill it. What do you guys think?
So while working for the car dealership, I would get $20 an hour, which was pretty good, at least for me in terms of like the fun that I was having. But I put that sort of on the back burner because it would require me to go back and forth from New York to New Jersey. That becomes a lot, but still very much worth it to do it once in a while. One thing that I have noticed, which is very odd, especially for being in the income bracket that I'm in, I have a Honda Civic that I drive around, and I've gone to like some of the same places and I've been treated extremely differently. If I pulled up somewhere in a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, you're treated like royalty. If you're in a Honda Civic or anything normal, you'll go very much under the radar. People have no interest in paying attention to you, and it's a little off-putting.
There you go, that's his first video idea. How I'm treated in a Ferrari versus a regular car. Make a video, drive around New York City, and make some funny content about it. I promise you, people would laugh. It would be so funny to watch. Okay, just like I thought, he's not living off of 17K, he's living off of his savings. So he had 33K, as you remember from the beginning of the video, and he's been, you know, taking the 17K and adding from his savings, which is like a great short-term strategy, but long-term, I mean, eventually this is gonna run out. I mean, it says it right here, it's down to 10K, so eventually it's gonna run out, and then who knows what happens.
My lifestyle hasn't really changed too much, which is probably why I'm spending more than I'm making. If you don't want to spend money in New York City, you pretty much just have to like lay down inside, because everything that you do, if you like go anywhere, it's going to cost you money. I don't go out and buy new things very often. I like to spend my money on experiences rather than an item. It's definitely been difficult. I've relied on some of my savings to compensate for the losses that I've had each month. It's interesting because to accrue that savings took like a few years, but it's also being dissipated over the course of a few years. So I don't feel too stressed by it.
And then I put my camera right there, and then this is like for auditions.
I feel pretty good about paying my bills, at least right now. I know I don't have a huge safety net, but it does feel good that I at least have something there. And I know that at any time I could go in the corner to Starbucks or any sort of place and get a job that's gonna meet my expenses because they're relatively low.
Hello, welcome to my tiny little apartment. This is my tiny room.
I am super impressed that he got an apartment for $1,000, $1,094 in New York. I'm actually very impressed. I also want to know what building that is because it looks clean, it looks well maintained. It doesn't look like he's living in the hood. Really good price. I mean, impressive that he was able to find that.
I have a little editing setup here.
I ended up getting a really good deal on this place. It's supposed to be around $3,000, but I ended up getting about $1,000 off per month. I went to a real estate agent and I said, do you know of anything that's going to be on the market in about 3 months? I'll take it as soon as the last tenant leaves, so that way you have no downtime and you're not missing out on like a few months rent when the apartment's sitting there. And I said, if you could pass that savings along to me, I would love it. And they went for it. Frugality is really hard sometimes when you're trying to be healthy. A lot of the cheaper foods are not very good for you. I will go to the grocery store or a farmer's market and see something that's relatively inexpensive that you have to cook yourself. I didn't buy the BMW M Roadster with an investment mindset. I bought it just because I was not really that happy at the insurance company. I was trying to mitigate that by buying myself like a fun little sports car.
Bro, I'm telling you, start the car review channel. Like, you could even name it, I don't know, Funny Guy Reviews or something. Like, you know, it's the best idea. You'll be so good at it and you wouldn't have to worry about insurance companies or nothing, and you'll probably make a lot more money. And then you can blend it in with your acting.
It was actually not that expensive when I bought it. It was around $10,000, but since then it's nearly doubled in value. I never want to sell the BMW. I would like to keep that forever and have it be a part of my collection in the future. If I had to, I would, to put an extra $18,000 towards my dreams, but I would much rather go out and get a part-time job that helps me sustain myself. Some of the goals for this year is to get an agent, so that way I can get my foot in the door for things that I currently can't get my foot in the door for, and also to start writing a little bit more on some of what I really want to make in the future. I'm willing to go back to a 9 to 5, but I want something that has a good work-life balance. That's been really hard for me to find. I don't want it to affect what is essentially a second job, because I will continue to pursue my career as an actor. I don't want to have anything conflict with that. But I do need the money, so that's why sometimes part-time work looks attractive to me, because you clock in and you clock out. So I definitely do have goals. It's a long pursuit, it's a marathon, not a sprint. There may be a time when I need to put my dreams on hold to go do something and then come back. But as of right now, I'm gonna give myself probably about 2 more years to really go full force in this, and then I might have to put it more so on a back burner.
Every choice that I've made has led me to this point right now.
So even though he was able to make it work somehow, you know, he got a good deal on the rent, he had some savings, this is not sustainable. So no, I mean, if you need 138K to live a modest life in New York, I don't know what he's doing, but he's working for him, so God bless him. I honestly think that the car review channel will be amazing, so reach out to me if you need help. I will work with you on it for free because I love cars. And let me know, would you trade places with this guy? Would you go to New York and get a job earning 17K per year to pursue your acting career? Why or why not? I mean, I wouldn't personally, but you know, he's 28, he wants to, you know, live a carefree life, and this guy is so positive, man. Like, I'm so impressed by this guy. He's so positive. But from a purely financial accountant perspective, no. What you're doing is bad. Take that money, invest it in the market, be smarter with your money, plan for your future. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.